You're all reading into that.
Here is Jill Biden wishing everyone a Merry Christmas for this joyous season we're in, and she realized that she kind of stepped in it.
So I hope that you all feel that sense of, peace and light, and that just for a moment when you leave here today that you feel, a sense of joy. Because I think we all need we all need to feel joy now during this time of the season, during this time. So anyway, okay, now I'll start. You're all reading into that.
Malice, I know you're familiar with the notion of kayfabe, this sort of WWE wrestling idea that we're all sort of partly watching something that is scripted and reacting to it, even though it's kind of fake, but we're having real emotions to it. Like when you see, Hulk Hogan slam Andre the Giant, you're like, oh my God, it's the greatest thing ever.
That was the greatest thing ever, WrestleMania 3.
That was WrestleMania 3, and Hogan did not know if Andre was going to let him body slam him or not. If you haven't seen that doc on, what's it called? The doc on Vince McMahon. It's called Mr. McMahon on Netflix. It's really fantastic. And it tells you a lot about politics. But anyway, that struck me as a very kayfabe moment. She knew exactly what she was doing right there, like just throwing some bread out for us.
Yeah, if it was one thing, we could dismiss it, but she also wore red on Election Day. And it's not like she wears red regularly like Nancy Reagan. It's not her color. Right. But there was 2 moments where she was at some receiving group and Kamala Harris is right there shaking hands over Jill's head. Jill won't even look at her. Yeah. And then we saw the other scene where she's sitting next to Trump, and it was like a water park down there to look at her face. I mean, she couldn't get enough of him. So, and so in her defense, Joe Biden's been in the Senate since the 70s, right? And he's been very proactive on civil rights and all this other stuff. And that Corn Pop story turns out to be true because we found Corn Pop's obituary. People may not realize this. First thing Officer Harris
he learned about roaches from Corn Pop, and that kids like rubbing his leg, and
but his point is like he tried to work
with roaches.
Because his point was he worked at the pool to try to interact with like black people because it was kind of coming out of the civil rights era. Point being,
he loved having the kids rub his leg, but okay.
Who doesn't, right? Point being, Officer Harris, first thing in her debate is like, you're a racist. Now, if you're Jill Biden, you're going to sit there. You're like, I want to go Mangione on this lady. And Biden painted himself in a corner by saying he's going to pick a minority woman as his VP. The list is not long, even in the supposed DI Democratic Party. So I don't blame. And of course, she had a hand in forcing him off from re-election. Supposedly that phone call from Obama said they're ready to 25th Amendment him, and I believe it. So of course she's going to despise Officer Harris, and I don't blame her for 1 minute. And to her defense, this whole idea of like, well, Hitler is the other candidate, but we're going to campaign on joy. That's going to be your winning issue. It deserves to be mocked.